From a woman attacked by a pet chimpanzee to the death of Steve Irwin, the famous crocodile hunter, here are 10 crazy animal attacks. Number 10. Cujo. Alright, not really the Cujo, but pretty close. A malicious dog went on a biting spree on a public street in China, injuring 23 people. The youngest victim was 8 years old, and the oldest was 75, so I guess it didn't have a taste for any specific type of blood, I guess. The CCTV footage that surfaced online shows some of the victims fending off the dog, while others just fall to the ground. Police arrived at the scene, but the canine disappeared. It came back though, and the police who were armed with the batons chased it for 1 hour before trapping and killing it. Aw. The dog's victims were treated at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Wei'an County, southwest China. 2 people had to be hospitalized due to serious injuries. But what made this dog go so crazy? Thoughts? Drop them in the comments. Number 9. Scrappy and Tara. On May 13th, 2014, CCTV cameras captured a crazy dog attack unfold in Bakersfield, California, outside the home of the Trianta-filo family. The surveillance video shows 6-year-old Jeremy riding his bike in the driveway. Then an escaped Labrador chow from next door, named Scrappy, circles a vehicle before spotting Jeremy riding his bike. It charges from behind and grabs his legs. It viciously pulls him down the driveway. Tara, the family's cat, dashes to the scene. She tackles Scrappy and chases him away. Then she returns to Jeremy's side. Okay, wow. A cat tackling a lab chow mix? That is not a small dog. Tara's a badass. It was the first video on YouTube to reach 20 million views in 5 days. 3 weeks later, the Bakersfield Board of Supervisors declared June 3rd Tara the Hero Cat Day. Meow! On September 26, 2014, she earned a Blue Tiger Award, usually awarded to military service dogs. In 2015, Tara earned a year's supply of cat food when she was awarded the LA SPCA's Hero Dog Award. What happened to her antagonist, Scrappy? The Bakersfield Animal Care Center classified him as vicious and dangerous. He was humanely euthanized despite pleas from online petitioners and various animal groups. Aw, Scrappy. Number 8. Roy Horn. Roy Horn was a member of the magician duo Siegfried and Roy. Hey, there's a freeway exit here called that. Sorry, just clicked. They performed at the Mirage Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Their acts featured white tigers and lions. On October 3rd, 2003, Horn was attacked by a 380-pound tiger during a performance. It got a hold of his neck, crushing his windpipe and severing the artery carrying oxygen to his brain. The tiger then dragged him off the stage, but Horn later claimed that it was just trying to help him. Are you sure he wasn't just tired of the tricks? He remained partially paralyzed for a year and then recovered in September 2005. Mirage Casino closed the show indefinitely following the attack, ending its 30-year stint. Hey, real quick, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more videos like these. Number 7. Oh, Travis. I'm sure you've heard of this one. Travis was a male chimpanzee who became famous after attacking and nearly killing 55-year-old Charla Nash on February 16, 2009. He had been adopted by Sandra and Jerome Harold 3 days after he was born. The incident happened at Sandra Harold's home in North Stamford, Connecticut. Travis had left the house with Sandra's car keys. Nash followed Travis outside to retrieve them and brought the chimp's favorite toy to lure him in. The minute Travis saw the toy in her hands, he attacked her in a mad fit of rage. She began screaming, and Sandra rushed to help her. She commanded her chimp to stop, but he was adamant. She hit him with a shovel and stabbed him with a butcher knife. Still, it didn't stop the chimp. Sandra had no choice but to call the police. In the frantic 911 call, Sandra screams, "Send the police with a gun! With a gun! He's killing my girlfriend! He's eating her!" When the police arrived, Travis walked confidently to the police car and tried to open a locked passenger door. He smashed the side view mirror before calmly walking to the driver's side. He opened the door, and it was at this point that Officer Frank Schiafferi shot him several times. Travis retreated and died outside his cage. I know he attacked the woman, but it still breaks my heart. Paramedics who responded to the call found pieces of Nash's fingers scattered on the floor. Her hands looked like they had been cut off by a machine. Nash, whose face was nearly torn off, wears a veil to this day to avoid scaring people. Number 6. Gustav. Gustav is a Nile crocodile that has killed over 300 people in Africa. The crocodile snatches people from the banks of the Ruzizi River on the northern shores of Lake Tanganyika. I'm sorry, I tried my best to say that correctly. According to the locals, he leaves most of the corpses uneaten. What a jerk. Patrice Fay, a French herpetologist, has studied the legendary croc for the past 2 decades. Okay, pause. Patrice, you just been watching this croc kill these people for like 20 years? In 2004, he led an expedition to capture Gustav. This was made into a documentary film called Capturing the Killer Croc, aired on PBS. Okay, so I guess you tried to catch him. The notorious man-eater, estimated to be more than 18 feet, is still on the loose. A resident spotted the croc in June 2015, dragging a male buffalo into the murky waters. Number 5. George Wendt Hensley. George Wendt Hensley was a Christian evangelist who popularized the practice of snake handling during sermons. He abided by a passage in the Gospel of Mark, which says, "And these signs shall follow those who believe. In my name they will cast out demons. They will take up serpents." He founded several churches in Kentucky and Tennessee, which were called Church of God with Signs Following. Hensley's churches and small meetings drew hundreds of devotees. His feats were closely followed by print media. Despite preaching the gospel, he never lived by his teachings. Hensley married 4 times and fathered 13 children, but his first 3 wives divorced him due to conflicts caused by his inability to earn a steady income, drunkenness, and absence. In fact, he was once arrested for moonshine-related charges and sent to jail for 4 months. He was also arrested 2 times for snake handling. It's estimated that he had survived over 400 snake bites before the last bite that ended his life on July 24, 1955. The previous day, Hensley was preaching at a revival service in Florida. He wrapped a poisonous snake around his neck and walked around preaching as he rubbed it on his face. As he placed the snake in a lard can after the sermon, it bit him on the wrist. He was visibly in distress and pain moments later. The congregants urged him to seek medical care, but Hensley pointed out that he was suffering because of their lack of faith. He died the following day. Number 4. The Grizzly Man. Tim Treadwell lived closely with brown bears at the Katmai National Park in Alaska for 13 summers. In his last summer, he and his girlfriend Amy were mauled to death by a 28-year-old brown bear. Over the course of his Alaskan expeditions, he had founded the bear protection organization Grizzly People, produced documentaries, and wrote a book titled Among Grizzlies: Living with Wild Bears in Alaska. Treadwell loved to crawl and walk with the bears. He would not only film them, but also attempted to touch the cubs and adults. He often squabbled with park officials due to his lack of basic safety precautions. The fatal bear attack that claimed the couple's lives happened on October 5th, 2003. They had overstayed at the camp for 1 week in an attempt to locate their favorite female brown bear. They finally spotted the bear within that week and were preparing to leave the park. Treadwell asked Willie Fulton, an air taxi pilot, to pick them up the next day. As scheduled, Fulton landed at the lake on October 6th at 2 p.m., but Treadwell and Amy were nowhere to be seen. He hiked up to their camp, calling their names. After getting no reply, he sensed that something was terribly wrong. Furthermore, he felt that some animal was stalking him. Fulton gave up his search midway and headed for his plane. As soon as he had arrived, he turned and saw a nasty bear eyeing him. Fulton took off and flew over the campsite. He then spotted a brown bear feeding on what appeared to be part of a human rib cage. He flew over multiple times to scare the bear away, but it remained put and fed faster. Fulton radioed for help and landed again on the western shore of the lake, about 1 mile from Treadwell's campsite. A rescue team arrived at 4:26 p.m. and interviewed Fulton. They hiked up to the camp and discovered the mauled remains. They killed 2 bears at the scene, which were also stalking them. The rest of the human remains were found in the stomach of a 28-year-old bear they had shot. They also discovered a 6-minute audio recording of the couple's last moments. Number 3. Walking the lions. On February 27, 2018, a 22-year-old was mauled to death by a lioness at a popular wildlife sanctuary in South Africa, operated by Kevin Richardson, the Lion Whisperer. The woman had accompanied her friend, who had come to interview the camp's manager as part of her schoolwork. At the time, Richardson and an experienced colleague were walking 3 lions as part of their weekly exercise. Wait, exercise for the lions or the people? Research told me lions. Weird. Anyway, a lioness spotted an impala and charged after it. It ran for about 1.5 miles before encountering the 22-year-old outside her car, where the lion then attacked her. Number 2, Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin, what a guy. He was an Australian icon, crocodile hunter, zookeeper, and TV personality. He is best known for co-hosting The Crocodile Hunter with his wife, Terry Irwin. He died September 4th, 2006, following a tragic encounter with a stingray. Irwin was on location at the Bat Reef in Queensland, Australia, for the filming of a documentary series titled Ocean's Deadliest. When bad weather held up filming, Irwin decided to go snorkeling in shallow waters to be filmed for his daughter's television series, Bindi the Jungle Girl. He approached a stingray, hoping it would swim away. To his surprise, it stood its ground and stabbed him more than 100 times within a few seconds. He had a pierced heart and died shortly on his boat. Number 1, Bethany Hamilton. On Halloween 2003, Bethany Hamilton, only 13 at the time, went for a morning surf at Tunnels Beach in Kauai. She was laying on her surfboard with her left arm hanging in the water when suddenly a tiger shark attacked, taking her arm almost clean off. Because of the nature of the injury, she lost 60% of her blood by the time she got to the hospital. She was rushed to Wilcox Memorial Hospital, where her father was scheduled to undergo knee surgery that same morning. Hamilton took her father's place on the operating table. She had lost an arm, but refused to give up her dream. She went back to surfing and learned to use her body in a way that allowed her to keep going and even surf professionally. She became an inspiration to many and even became an actress in movies, including one about her own life, as well as appearing in The Amazing Race alongside her husband, and finished 3rd. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!